In a small, forgotten village surrounded by endless fields of wheat, two boys, Ayan and Rohan, grew up in poverty, but shared a friendship richer than gold. Their families struggled to afford even a single meal a day, but hunger never dulled their dreams. They would sit under the lone banyan tree by the river, gazing at the setting sun, whispering to each other about a future where they would change their fate. Ayan was the son of a laborer, his hands always covered in dust from helping his father at construction sites. Rohan's mother sewed clothes for a living, stitching dreams with every patch she added to torn garments. Life was a series of endless struggles, but the two friends never let hardship break their spirit. Their motto was simple: if we rise together. One day, as they sat by the riverbank skipping stones, Ayan turned to Rohan and said, "We can't live like this forever. There has to be a way out." Rohan nodded. "But how? We have no money. No guidance." Ayan picked up a pebble and tossed it into the water. "Then we will learn. We will work harder than anyone else. One day, we'll start our own business." Rohan's eyes lit up with determination. They made a pact. No matter what obstacles came their way, they would fight side by side. With no money to fund their dreams, they began looking for ways to earn. They collected scrap metal from abandoned buildings, sold newspapers, and even worked at a local tea stall. Every coin they earned was tucked away in an old tin box, their treasure chest of hope. One evening, they overheard a merchant complaining about how he couldn't sell his excess vegetables before they rotted. An idea struck Ayan. "Why don't we help him sell his vegetables in nearby towns?" Rohan's face lit up. "We can do it on commission. He won't have any losses, and we'll get a share of the profit." The merchant, amused by their enthusiasm, agreed. Armed with a rickety wooden cart and sheer determination, the boys walked miles to the next village, selling fresh vegetables at fair prices. Their honesty and hard work quickly gained them loyal customers, and soon they weren't just selling vegetables, they were learning the art of business. As time passed, their small venture grew. They saved enough to buy a second-hand bicycle, making transportation easier, but they weren't satisfied. Ayan had another idea. "What if we set up a small grocery store? Not just vegetables, but rice, flour, and essentials?" Rohan hesitated. "It's a huge risk. What if we fail?" Ayan grinned. "Then we start again, but we'll never know unless we try." Pooling all their savings, they rented a tiny space in the market. Every morning before dawn, they traveled to the city to buy goods in bulk and returned to sell them at fair prices. Their honesty and dedication won hearts, and their store flourished. They weren't just surviving anymore, they were growing. Just when life seemed to be turning in their favor, disaster struck. A terrible storm flooded the village, destroying homes and businesses, including their small shop. The shelves they had filled with so much effort were washed away in an instant. For the first time, Ayan felt helpless. Maybe this was a mistake, he whispered. "Maybe we were never meant to succeed." Rohan placed a hand on his shoulder. "Have you forgotten our promise? If we rise together." Determined not to give up, they sought help. They approached a businessman who had once been impressed by their honesty and hard work. Seeing their perseverance, he agreed to lend them money to rebuild. But instead of just reopening a shop, they dreamed bigger. With the loan, they didn't just rebuild their store, they transformed it into a wholesale supply business. They expanded their network, supplying goods to smaller vendors, ensuring others like them could earn a living. Their reputation soared, and soon they weren't just two boys from a poor village, they were respected businessmen. Years passed, and the small store turned into a chain of grocery outlets. They provided jobs to those who once struggled like them, ensuring that no child in their village would ever go to bed hungry again. One evening, as they sat under the same banyan tree where their dreams had taken root, Rohan turned to Ayan and smiled. "We did it." Ayan looked at the setting sun, just like they had all those years ago, and said, "And we did it together." Their success wasn't just measured in wealth, it was in the lives they changed, the hands they uplifted, and the promise they kept. Because true success is not about how far you go alone, but about how many you bring along with you. Moral of the story: true success is not just about how far you go alone, but how many you bring along with you. Ayan and Rohan's journey teaches us that success isn't measured by wealth alone, but by the lives we uplift and the promises we keep. If this story touched your heart, let your support be part of the journey. Like, subscribe, and stay inspired.